having some more conservative voices on your network, actually not making them pariahs, not directing your audience to feel that everything that Donald Trump does.
Panel. She is self-appointed. She knows everything. It's great to see her ego take this hit, but I think it will be short-lived.
It's amazing to listen to her talk about.
All right, buckle up, folks, because this is a story that's going to have everyone talking. Picture this. Sunny Hostin, one of the most outspoken and polarizing personalities on daytime television, finds herself at the center of yet another storm, and this time, it's messier than anyone could have anticipated. You know her as the fierce,
Anna went in a different direction, but I love the fact that, Manny is younger and he's
How
very...
much younger is he?
Just a little bit.
He's like 1 year, isn't he? Like a month or a year or 10 years?
5 years. It's more than a year.
Oh.
Anyway, it's not about me.
It all started during a live taping of The View, where Sunny Hostin let loose with a series of comments that left the audience gasping and producers scrambling. Now, if you're familiar with Sunny, you know she's no stranger to controversy. In fact, she practically thrives on it. But this time, the stakes were higher, the backlash was faster, and the consequences could be career-ending. So, what did she say? Let's just say she took...
I think that it's very helpful that he's handy, and when we travel, I'm not picking up any bags. He's the one that's hefting them overhead.
Exactly.
He throws the garbage out.
Right.
He does the heavy stuff.
What's wild about this whole situation is how quickly it spiraled out of control. 1 minute, Sunny was delivering her usual commentary, and the next, producers were reportedly forced to cut the live feed. That's right, cut the live feed. Let that sink in for a moment. For a show as seasoned as The View, where heated debates and controversial statements are practically the norm, this was an unprecedented move. Sources close to the production claim that Sunny's remarks were so incendiary, so off the cuff, that the team had no choice but to hit the proverbial panic button. And boy, did it send shockwaves throughout the entertainment world.
Sunny Hostin of The View, who's constantly raging about race and reparations and how bad America is and its racial past and all this stuff.
Now, let's rewind a bit and talk about what might have led to this explosive moment. Sunny has long been a lightning rod for criticism, particularly because of her outspoken views on race, gender, and social justice. She's made headlines numerous times for calling out systemic inequities and challenging those in power. But her critics argue that she often crosses the line into divisiveness. This latest incident? Well, it seemed to be the tipping point. According to insiders, during a discussion about diversity, equity, and inclusion, a topic Sunny is famously passionate about, she allegedly veered off script with comments that many felt were inflammatory. While the exact wording hasn't been officially confirmed, thanks to that live feed cut, multiple sources suggest that Sunny made sweeping generalizations about white men, doubling down on her belief.
We know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
The backlash was immediate and intense. Viewer reactions flooded social media, with hashtags both supporting and condemning Sunny trending within minutes. Some called her a trailblazer for speaking truth to power, while others accused her of perpetuating division. And then there were those who demanded her outright removal from the show, claiming she had crossed a line that even The View couldn't justify. It was chaos, pure and simple. And the show's producers were caught squarely in the middle. But the drama didn't stop there. The fallout extended well beyond the viewers at home. Rumors began swirling about tension among the co-hosts, with whispers of on-set arguments and icy exchanges during commercial breaks. Some sources even claimed that certain co-hosts were blindsided by Sunny's remarks and felt uncomfortable being associated with the controversy. And let's not forget the producers, who, According
I think he's doing something a little bit more diabolical, if I'm being honest. Representative Andy Ogles, a Republican of Tennessee, on January 23rd, just 3 days after Trump was inaugurated, already proposed amending the 22nd Amendment to allow Trump to serve a third term.
behind-the-scenes discussions reportedly turned to whether Sunny should face disciplinary action, with everything from a public apology to suspension allegedly being considered. But here's the thing. Sunny has built her entire brand on being unapologetically herself. Would she even agree to backtrack on her statements? And if not, what does that mean for her future on the show? These are the questions that have everyone buzzing, and as of now, there are no easy answers. Adding yet another layer of complexity to this situation is the broader cultural moment we're in. Discussions about race, privilege, and equity have never been more urgent, but they've also never been more polarizing. Sunny's comments, whether you agree with them or not, tapped into a deep well of society.
And I've been criticizing them for 8 years for doing it, pointing out that it's not the job of the media to take sides.
In the midst of all this, Sunny herself has remained relatively quiet, at least publicly. But those who know her say she's not one to back down from a fight. If anything, this controversy might just embolden her further. After all, this is the same Sunny Hostin who once said, "If you're not making people uncomfortable, you're not telling the truth." Love her or hate her, there's no denying that she's a force to be reckoned with. Still, the question remains, how does The View move forward from here? The show has weathered its fair share of controversies over the years, but this one feels different. The stakes are higher, the backlash is louder, and the potential fallout is greater. Will the producers stand by Sunny and risk alienating a significant portion of their audience? Or will they take action to distance themselves from her remarks, potentially sacrificing one of their most provocative voices in the process? It's a delicate balancing act, and all eyes are on them to see how they'll handle it.
Which, by the way, how annoying is The View getting? God, they're insufferable, that lot, aren't they? It's just a side effect.
Meanwhile, public reaction continues to evolve. Petitions demanding Sunny's removal have garnered thousands of signatures, while others have rallied behind her, arguing that her voice is more necessary than ever. The debate has even spilled over into the media, with pundits and commentators weighing in on what this controversy says about free speech, accountability, and the role of daytime television in shaping public discourse. It's a conversation that shows no signs of slowing down, and one with implications far beyond The View. As we wait to see how this all unfolds, one thing is clear. Sunny Hostin is not going down without a fight, whether you see her as a fearless truth-teller or a divisive figure. There's no denying that she has sparked a conversation that's impossible to ignore. And in the world of television, controversy might just be the ultimate currency, but at what cost? And
Sunny Hostin, one of the ladies on The View, she just came out. And I gotta give her credit for standing against massive unpopularity.
As for The View, the pressure is on like never before. Will they find a way to turn this controversy into a teachable moment, or will it mark the beginning of the end for one of daytime television's most iconic shows? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. This story is far from over. Stay tuned, because the drama is just getting started. All right, folks, let's pick up right where we left off, because the drama surrounding Sunny Hostin and The View is only getting juicier, messier, and way more complicated. If you thought the public backlash and calls for her removal were the end of it, think again. This controversy is like a snowball rolling downhill, picking up speed and dragging everything and everyone in its path. And trust us, the ripple effects of this scandal go way beyond Sunny's comments. It's not just her career on the line. The View itself is facing an existential crisis, and the fallout is spilling into every corner of her personal.
She just came out at a time when woke is at its absolute lowest. Nobody wants to claim that mantle anymore. She claimed that mantle. And she said to oppose woke, actually, is ungodly and unchristian.
Let's start with the shocking aftermath of the live feed being cut. For a show like The View, which thrives on spirited debates and controversial hot takes, pulling the plug mid-broadcast is almost unheard of. According to insiders, the decision to cut the feed wasn't made lightly. It was reportedly a last-minute call by producers who feared that letting Sunny continue her tirade would cause irreparable damage. not just to her reputation, but to the show's brand as a whole. And let's be honest, The View has seen its fair share of controversy over the years. But this was a whole new level of chaos. The fallout was instantaneous. Fans watching live were left stunned and confused, flooding social media with questions and theories about what had just happened. Did Sunny get fired on the spot? Was this the beginning of the end for The View? Within hours, #CancelTheView began trending, with critics slamming the show for allowing such a divisive moment to air in the first place. On the flip side,
Right, I don't think you could be called woke if you don't support abortion and so-called trans rights, right?
but the drama didn't stop there. Behind the scenes, The View's producers were reportedly scrambling to do damage control. According to multiple sources, emergency meetings were held at ABC headquarters, with executives demanding answers and exploring their options. Should they issue a public apology, suspend Sunny, or, in the most extreme scenario, let her go entirely? The stakes couldn't have been higher. After all, The View is one of ABC's flagship programs, and any misstep could send the network into a tailspin. One insider described the atmosphere as absolute chaos, with producers walking on eggshells and tensions running sky-high. Meanwhile, Sunny's co-hosts were allegedly caught in the crossfire. Rumors of behind-the-scenes tension began swirling almost immediately, with whispers of heated arguments.
According to the documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries.
And then there's the question of audience and advertisers. Let's not forget that this controversy didn't just spark a social media frenzy. It also hit The View where it hurts the most, in the ratings and the wallet. Early reports indicate that viewership took a significant nosedive in the days following the live feed debacle, with some longtime fans vowing never to watch the show again. Advertisers, too, were reportedly spooked, with several brands allegedly pulling their spots or threatening to do so if Sunny remained on the panel. For a show that relies heavily on advertising revenue, this was nothing short of a nightmare. But here's where things take an even darker turn. If the professional fallout wasn't enough, Sunny's personal life has also been thrust into the spotlight, and not in a good way. You see, this isn't the first time Sunny has found herself at the center of a scandal, and her critics are wasting no time
And it's a very serious crime. In fact, it's one of the largest, if not the largest, RICO case in New York's history.
For those of you who might not be familiar with the details, Sunny's husband is currently embroiled in a massive insurance fraud lawsuit that has been making headlines for months. Dr. Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon, is one of nearly 200 defendants named in a federal case filed by American Transit, a New York-based insurance company. The lawsuit accuses him of participating in a scheme to inflate medical bills and collect fraudulent payments, with the total damages allegedly reaching into the hundreds of millions of dollars. Yikes. Now, to be fair, Sunny has publicly defended her husband, calling the lawsuit frivolous and accusing American Transit of launching a smear campaign against her family. In a fiery statement, she claimed that the company was using her celebrity status to drum up publicity.
This is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York. You guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia.
As the legal battle drags on, critics are questioning whether Sunny's outspoken nature on The View has been a distraction from her family's troubles, or worse, a deliberate attempt to shift the narrative. Some have even gone so far as to accuse her of hypocrisy, pointing out that she often speaks about accountability and justice on air while her husband faces serious allegations of wrongdoing. It's a messy situation, to say the least, and one that threatens to undermine everything Sunny has worked so hard to build. But let's not forget about The View itself, which is now facing an uphill battle to restore its reputation and win back its audience. In addition to the ratings drop and advertiser pullouts, the show is reportedly grappling with internal division.
So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange.
So, where does all of this leave Sunny Hostin? For now, her future on The View hangs in the balance. While some fans and colleagues continue to stand by her, the mounting backlash and legal troubles make it increasingly difficult for ABC to justify keeping her on the panel. And even if she does manage to weather the storm, the